Pat Gray is here on the Blaze Radio Network.
There is so much. There's just so much. And also a new bingo card, so we got that going for us, too.
Oh, no.
It's kind of a hard one this week.
Yeah.
We start in the upper left-hand corner with leakages.
Oh, so if you just mention leakages then?
I guess so.
Okay, all right.
Keith explains a joke to Pat.
Oh, that'll be fun.
All right. I.e. Karen.
Yeah, like remember a couple weeks ago?
That's not really a joke necessarily so much as a stupid social media thing. Pat is Mr. Rap. This is how a republic dies. With thunderous applause. Magic horn aplenty. The phrase that pays. Express written consent of MLB.
Oh, MLB. You better get it together.
Four horsemen of the apocalypse. Now, that has an audio thing above it. I don't know if that's any kind of audio, but...
Oh, yeah.
Seems like that's something we just say.
Clippity-clop? Do you have a horsey sound effect or something?
Probably. If it saves just one life, Keith complains about yard work. Jeffy mentions his website. Yeah, that's going to happen soon. Trying to get some monies. Founding fathers are spinning like lathes in their graves. Biden, we hold these truths, etc.
You know the thing.
Carry the one. 0. Bemidji, Minnesota. Body of a Greek. The body of a Greek. Trump, China. We're all in this together, which we are. Let's remember that. We're all during this trying or challenging time. Allegations pressed on your name.
Oh, that's a goodie.
That's a fun one. Keith, good grief. Trump, don't pay the guy. Jeffy, it's only illegal if you get caught. Reference to a Canadian sports celebrity. And Pat sings a parody song. Okay. And that's our list.
That's a tough week coming up.
It's a tough week, yeah.
Oof.
Yeah. But it's a tough life right now. We've got so many weird things happening and so much racism to cover, I guess. We're all racists, and we don't deserve to live. If you're white. If you're white, you don't deserve to live because you're a flaming racist. Mm-hmm. And you need to learn. You need to learn. And so hopefully you'll be taught. And we're going to help teach you. 'Cause that's our job. We're going to help teach you. The entire National Football League caved in to all of this madness. They were wrong. The kneelers were right. We should have listened. We're so sorry. The kneelers are not right. I mean, I don't understand this. I really don't. And President Trump expressed his disappointment, I guess, in Drew Brees on the flag issue. And Drew Brees disagreed with Trump on that and tweeted out, "Through my ongoing conversations with friends, teammates, and leaders in the black community, I realize this is not an issue about the American flag. It never has been." Brees wrote on Instagram. Yeah, I'm sorry, Drew, but that's a flat-out lie that you got from your friends, your teammates, your leaders in the black community. It's a flat-out lie. It has always been about the flag. Colin Kaepernick has admitted it multiple times. And now you bought into it hook, line, and sinker. Remember when Nike was going to put the Betsy Ross flag on one of their shoes? Who stopped that? Colin Kaepernick did. That's who. Colin Kaepernick. Let's see. In a statement, Nike said that it has chosen not to release the Air Max 1 Quick Strike 4th of July shoe, as it featured the old version of the American flag. A spokesman for the company didn't immediately reply to a request for information, but they said that Kaepernick objected to it because the flag dates back to the late 18th century, a period of widespread slavery in the United States. Okay, so that flag was shut down by Colin Kaepernick because it's racist. Has nothing to do with race. Has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with it at all. He also made it very clear it was about the flag when he said, I'm not about to stand up to show pride in a flag for a country that oppresses black people and people of color.
But it's not about the flag.
But it's not about the flag.
You know that.
Huh. Interesting. To me, this is bigger than football, and it would be selfish on my part to look the other way. So he was going to kneel because of the flag. I mean, I'm so tired of hearing it's not about the flag when it is about the flag. All right. I had to get that off my chest. Mm-hmm. LeBron James, everybody else who came down on Drew Brees and lied to his face. I'm sick of it. I'm just sick of it.
What a weekend for America.
Wasn't it fun? It was a fun weekend.
It's tough to know where to begin.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
You're right, though. The Drew Brees and the NFL writ large has acquiesced. And, boy, we got a new and exciting NFL on the horizon. Roger Goodell himself even came out now and said, we were wrong. Sorry. Please forgive me.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know if you
It
want
has been a difficult time for our country, in particular, black people in our country.
Mm-hmm.
First, my condolences to the families of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, Ahmaud Arbery, and all the families who have endured police brutality.
Does that include white families or not?
Condemn racism and the systematic oppression of black people.
Mm-hmm.
We, the National Football League, admit we were wrong for not listening to NFL players earlier and encourage all to speak out and peacefully protest. We, the National Football League, believe Black Lives Matter. I personally protest with you and want to be part of the much-needed change in this country. Without black players, there would be no National Football League. And the protests around the country are emblematic of the centuries of silence, inequality, and oppression of black players, coaches, fans, and staff. We are listening. I am listening. And I will be reaching out to players who have raised their voices and others on how we can improve and go forward for a better and more united NFL family.
Okay, so does he mean all people who've been affected by police brutality? Does that include white people who have been affected by police brutality? Does that include Tony Timpa? Does that include Daniel Shaver, a guy gunned down in a hotel hallway for no reason whatsoever, crying and begging for his life, and just shot 5 times from an AR-15 from a police officer? Does that include him or not? Because it seems like that was pretty brutal. Seems like the Tony Timpa thing was exactly the same thing as George Floyd was. Exactly the same. That doesn't diminish what happened to them in any way. But this isn't just about blacks, because whites have been killed by cops twice as much.
Yeah. And in these riots, 17 people have lost their lives, 9 of whom were black, which is the same, according to the Washington Post, the same number of unarmed black men that were killed by cops in the last year.
9?
9 black people have lost their lives.
Unarmed.
During the riots, and that's the same number of unarmed black men in the last year, yes. But you don't hear anybody talking about those Black Lives Mattering.
No, you don't. No, you sure don't. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. And this thing is just getting so out of control, just sweeping like wildfire, taking everybody with it. Morgan Scalley, who is the defensive coordinator for the Godless Animals at the University of Utah, just got suspended for something he texted in 2013. Kyle Whittingham, the longtime Utah coach, who coached Scalley as a player before making him graduate assistant and then defensive coordinator, said, I take very seriously the hurt. Now, nobody has said what was tweeted or what was texted. I don't have any context as to, whether they were playing around, whether it was one of those, hey, my N-word things, or, because they're really close. I don't know what was texted. I doubt it was just some flat out, you're an N-word kind of situation. There's just no way. There's no way Morgan Scalley did that. I don't think. I don't even know the guy. But I know what his players have said about him, and that's that he's incredibly respectful, and he's been great to them. So Kyle Whittingham, the coach of the Godless Animals, says, I take very seriously the hurt, pain, and anger felt by African Americans and the power of words to inflict or deepen that pain. Wait, the power of words to inflict or deepen that pain? Whatever happened to sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me? What happened to that? What do you mean they're inflicting pain? Stop it. Not if you don't allow it. God. Although this incident is inconsistent with the character and conduct of the person I've known, well then okay, give him a break then. Let's move on. I've known and worked closely with for more than 2 decades. Morgan's use of racist language is a very serious matter, and I'm supportive of the suspension while a more thorough outside review is conducted. 2013. Okay, why is that even coming up again? Why? That was 7 years ago. One incident 7 years ago. It's unbelievable, this witch hunt, to find anybody's mistakes that they've ever made in the past, whether through tweets or texts, emails, whatever. We've got to find something to bring them down. What nasty thing has anybody ever said to anybody in any context? And again, we have no idea what the context of it was. And I guess it doesn't matter because the word just can't be used by a white person. So it doesn't matter the context, I'm sure. And he'll just be fired. And they'll lose a great defensive coordinator, which is fine by me, I guess, because BYU is going to beat them this year anyway, if we do play. Mm-hmm. So, you want to lose a great defensive coordinator? Go ahead. Unbelievable. They were number 2 in defense, total defense last year. But he texted something in 2013. We got to get rid of him.
Texted something? Yeah.
Texted. Unbelievable. And it's just, I don't know. It's a crazy world. And we're all getting swept up in it. You better check your texts and your tweets from the past and start deleting them now. Just look back, and don't stop at 2013 because they don't. They don't. As long as you've been tweeting, that's as long as you should be checking because it's madness.
Well, what if I ever got in an argument with like a black person or something like that? Mm-hmm. Is that going to come back to haunt me too?
Probably yes.
Man, what if it had nothing to do with race whatsoever?
It doesn't matter. Did you say something mean at any time to anyone?
Probably.
Okay.
Do you know me?
There you go. Yeah, I do. I do.
Okay.
So, yeah, you've said plenty of mean things. Have you done it in tweets, though? Yes, of course you have.
Sure.
This is the time to go back and look at that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've mean tweeted to anybody.
Yeah. I did have a black guy call me the N-word in a loving way last weekend.
Really?
Yeah, when I corrected him that John Adams did not own slaves, so check yourself. I just went back to try to find it, and that he has deleted his tweet where he called me the N-word in a loving way.
See, he's doing his due diligence right now.
He's doing his due diligence right now.
Good for him.
Yeah.
That's great.
So anyway.
And there are times when it is used in that context. And that, to me, that matters. But I guess it doesn't in the world at large. And that would be my guess that that's how Morgan Scalley used it. But I don't know. I don't know.
What a world. What a weekend.
World. Yep.
I mean, the images that we will get to from your nation.
Nuts.
In the past 72 hours.
It's stark raving nuts. I don't think I even have my images sheet, by the way.
No, we don't have
it.
Nah, I got to go get it. It's down the hall there.
Okay. In the meantime, let me tell you about iTarget Pro. Even though the country is opening up again, some of us are a little leery about being in confined spaces with, strangers. So if you're looking for a great gift for Father's Day, not this Sunday, but the one after, that's safe, COVID-free, consider iTarget Pro. This is one of the coolest ways to dry fire train with your gun at home using their proprietary app and a laser bullet. It's convenient, it's safe, it'll save you a ton of money on ammunition. Dry fire training develops muscle memory and helps target reaction speed, sight alignment, trigger function, all kinds of things. And it comes in all major calibers, including .223 and .556, so you can stay sharp with almost any firearm. For Father's Day, get 10% off plus free shipping with the offer code PAT. Don't let circumstances dictate whether or not you're going to train. Take back control with iTarget Pro. That's the letter I, then targetpro.com. iTarget Pro, offer code PAT.
Pat Gray.
Welcome to it. What a nightmare.
Welcome to it. What a nightmare.
This is our nightmare together. But we're in it together. That's the good thing, in this new normal.
Are we?
This new normal nightmare. We're in it together, so in this difficult time.
Yeah. Boy, it's
So you got that going for you.
This is a tough day.
Yeah, it is. They're all tough now. Mm-hmm. They're pretty much all tough.
You never wake up and go, man, I can't wait to see the news today. What's going on in this country?
Well, even on Friday, we had that great news that the unemployment rate went from 14.7 to 13.3.
All right.
2.5 million new jobs. No.
Yeah.
No.
No.
No. No.
What happened?
Some kind of miscalculation, some sort of miscue. They calculated wrong. You got the 14.7, and it's like 19.3 or something. You carry the 1, bring down the 4,
and you get
zero. Zero.
So there's zero unemployment.
Yeah, zero unemployment.
No, so I think the adjusted number is going to be what, 16.3?
16.3, 3 percentage points higher. They did say though in a report I just read that the unemployment rate in April, applying the same methodology. So they calculated it wrong in April too. So it should have been like 19.3. So at 16.3, it's still better than it was in April.
Wow.
If you want to make some lemons out of lemonade.
The way they've calculated the unemployment number over the years has been so suspect and all over the map that here's how I can tell how the economy's doing. When you go through the drive-thru, and Chick-fil-A is disqualified from this analogy, by the way, because they're always awesome. But when you go through the drive-thru of any fast food joint, if the person is coherent and courteous and knows what they're doing, then the economy's probably terrible.
Bad.
Yeah, because you got really good people at the window. Mm-hmm. But if they can't
Instead
count change,
of some 15-year-old idiot that can't, it's just, just getting started.
Sure. Right.
And they don't really care.
Yeah.
And they don't want to be there.
Uh-huh.
And they just want to get their check and they want to go home. That's what they want to do. So
you just judge it that way.
Yeah.
And that's the Keith unemployment rate right there.
Mm-hmm. I think that's pretty good.
Okay.
Same with 7-Eleven or, any of these entry-level jobs.
Right.
And it's not that they're bad jobs. It's just that they're entry-level and they're not meant to be a career job. Nobody wants to be a clerk at 7-Eleven for life.
Yeah.
I don't think. Nobody wants to serve hamburgers at McDonald's for life. It's a starting job. That's why you don't make $180,000 working there. It's not meant to be that kind of job. And it isn't.
And if someone's vastly overqualified, then things are probably bad in the job market.
Probably kind of crappy. Yeah. So Pat Head Garcia sent us this great protest sign.
Oh, we have some good stuff from this past weekend, that's for sure. Yeah. They talking about the black uterus.
If I hid black Americans in my uterus, would their lives finally matter? No.
Wait, no.
Not if they're in your uterus. No, because then they need to be aborted, right? Isn't that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So no, under those circumstances, I think the answer is no, right? Is she talking about hiding Adult Americans? Adult
you
black
know what?
Americans in
I
our
don't know.
uterus?
I don't know. The analogy is gone now.
Because if they're adults, I'm not sure how that works.
Yeah, let's talk about the
I only
unemployment
know
numbers again.
if there's just tissue in there, and you don't know what it's going to grow into be. It could be a Volkswagen when it comes out. It could be a head of lettuce. I don't know. Or it might, through some weird coincidence, be a human being that comes out of there.
You have to make payments on that
On the
Volkswagen when it comes out, or is
No.
it just yours to keep
It's
at
just
that point?
yours at that point, yeah. It's just yours. Now, if you want it to grow into a Rolls Royce or something,
Okay.
then it's going to cost you
Or
some
you
money.
just go looting and get you a Rolls Royce that way.
Do we have the second looting job of the Rolls Royce people?
The second
Did I
looting?
send? I didn't send that in.
What happened?
They did it again in the Rolls Royce.
Yes, they showed up somewhere
looted
else.
another place in the Rolls Royce.
I mean,
We got to show that. That's
now they're just
so weird.
rubbing it in our faces. We
Yeah,
got
they
it. You got a nice car now.
Yeah.
Park it somewhere.
I don't know how you obtained it. Maybe through looting as well, but I can't believe you still have it. And if you are looting and you purchased a Rolls Royce, what are you doing looting? Are you a Rolls Royce family that just fell upon hard times? And now, you know what? We got to get ours. Now we got to go down.
They probably stole the Rolls
Get us a
Royce.
video. Let's get us a video at the video store that's being looted right now. I mean, so many weird
Hold on
things.
a second. There's a video store still around that is available for looting?
I meant GameStop, like a GameStop video store.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, like
I got you.
like video games.
I was going Blockbuster there. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. Something else that was kind of weird. Maybe you, in fact, saw the guy in Buffalo be pushed down by Buffalo police. What was he, 75 purportedly? He got a little shove
Graphic video.
from a cop.
Yep.
And he started backing up.
Watch
Oh,
this.
here it is.
Oh, no. The cops shove him. Oh, no.
I'm sorry, he didn't push him that hard.
Yeah.
Now he's
Blood.
bleeding from his ears.
Pouring out of his ears. Oh, no.
Go back to the beginning of this, and let's see if we can see him fall.
Yeah, can we do the
'Cause
slow motion? We have a slow motion.
Unless he fell directly on the back of his head, there's no way his ears are bleeding.
So watch this. Now, what's he
Okay.
doing? Watch his hand.
Now, this is what I wondered in the first place. What's he
Uh-huh.
doing here?
Huh.
And they were a little irritated by it.
What is he waving around there, huh? Uh-oh. And then, now he needs some time
Now, he
here.
starts going back before the guy
Whoa.
even touches him.
Whoa. Okay. So anyway,
Watch
I
this.
guess we don't have the whole fall down thing. We just have this
darn it.
part. Because this part here, see, he's actually, what they're saying is, and this guy is known, this 75-year-old is known up there. He shows up at all these protests.
He's an Antifa guy.
He's exactly that.
Now, that doesn't mean we want him hurt.
Nope.
That doesn't mean he deserves to be pushed down. It just means it looks like he set those cops up.
Absolutely, he did. And he's tweeted out stuff, F the police. He has a blog where he talks about that kind of stuff. And what he was doing with his hand there is apparently he's picking up their radio frequency, something where they are now able to be
Completely
tracked
uncool.
so you can find their movements later. I don't know how it works. I read about it this weekend. I still don't understand it. But somehow he's trying to pick up their radio signals and able to track their movements later.
So the guy pushes him back. Like, get out of here.
And then it hasn't been proven yet, but even the blood from the ear gushing out, they're saying, was probably
Faked?
a fake blood pack thingy. And that, the damage is done.
Oh, yeah.
The public opinion on that, up to the governor of New York has spoken out about this incident. And cops, by the way, walked off. I mean, when it came down on these two police officers getting suspended, 57 police, I think. I don't know. There's reports of police stepping down all over the place now. But anyhow, they reacted very strongly, like, what are you doing here? And it turned out that this guy set him up. And, of course, you won't see the retraction anywhere. That's not going to be headline news.
Nope.
So what a mess.
Nope.
The damage has been done.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he was
Exactly.
apparently joking with the EMTs afterward and all this stuff. I mean, he was fine.
His ears are bleeding and he's fine?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's the thing.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that interesting? Also, the editor of the Philadelphia Inquirer was just fired over a headline he wrote. Top editor of the Philadelphia Inquirer, actually was forced to resign days after people were pissed off over the newspaper's headline on a column about the impact of the civil unrest following the killing of George Floyd. The headline was, "Buildings Matter Too." Like, stop burning them down, maybe? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got fired for that. Buildings can't matter, I guess. I guess buildings don't matter. Or you've diminished the lives of black people by saying that. Or I don't know. I don't know how it works. But you can't say anything.
So wait a second, though. What about the father in Detroit? That building his home that he had worked so hard for and saved every dollar to renovate. Mm-hmm. I mean, that building mattered to his family.
No, it didn't.
Yeah,
no, it didn't. No.
I thought it. What am I?
All lives don't matter, and no buildings matter.
And by the way, what a racist country! Almost raised $500,000 to this point for that family, and the dad is very grateful. So congratulations, Americans. Even though we're all racist,
yeah, somehow managed $500,000 for them. Huh. Some other really bad things that are happening. In California, a sheriff's deputy was ambushed, killed in an ambush. You don't think that has something to do with what's going on, do you? Yeah. You don't think that has something to do with the prevailing environment, with everybody yelling and screaming about police officers and how awful they are? Who can we blame for this? Al Sharpton? I mean, because if it was on the other side, they'd be blaming Donald Trump. So who can we blame for the Northern California sheriff's deputy being ambushed?
Yeah, Damon Gutzwiller, who leaves behind a pregnant wife.
38 years old. Just really bad. Shot in an unincorporated area near Santa Cruz, California. A second deputy was injured, and a third officer was shot in his hand. He was a beloved figure in the sheriff's office, they said. Showed up today to do his job, to keep his community safe, and his life was taken needlessly. Yeah, somebody just waiting in ambush made a call. Deputies got a 911 call, and when they arrived on the scene, people ambushed them, just shot them dead. Shot the one dead and injured the other two. And nobody's talking about that. Or is CNN covering that wall to wall? Of course not. It's like the 5 Dallas police officers that were murdered a couple of years ago here. 5 of them in something kind of similar. In a I think a Black Lives Matter protest was happening at the time. And 5 Dallas cops were shot dead. No, that barely got covered. I mean, I'll bet there's a lot of people who think, oh, yeah, that's right, that did happen, right? Huh. I didn't remember that. But we're going to remember these other things, that's for sure. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. So much more to get into today. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot doesn't want you to use a gun to defend yourself. I love this too. We already talked about the NFL completely caving in. The entire NFL just caved in. Oh, we were wrong. We're so sorry. Yeah, we should all be kneeling. We should always kneel.
Wait, what?
Yeah, we should kneel. And watch. Not only will Drew Brees kneel, is there any doubt in anyone's mind that will be the case now, that he will join his fellow teammates in kneeling during the national anthem. But Roger Goodell will be at the first game taking a knee during the national anthem.
No way.
Pathetic. Oh, man. I mean, it's just amazing. The dominoes just falling like crazy right now. 888-900-3393. All right. 888-900-3393. And at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Jeffy's 18 Spoons tweets, Keith, the 9 black lives extinguished during the riots don't advance the cause of equality through superiority. The only black lives that matter to the left right now are those killed by police. There's no doubt about that. There's no question. Spunky Trucker, I mean, otherwise they'd be protesting every weekend in Chicago, Baltimore, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Which is exactly
St.
the
Louis,
point
Missouri.
the black lady was making
Yes,
last week
exactly.
in the face of the white lady who was there for Black Lives Matter.
Right. From Spunky Trucker, there wouldn't be an NFL without black people. Well, that's just a little racist.
Huh.
No, because it's only racist if it's, against black people. It's not racist if it's about whites.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you can say anything you want about stupid white people.
Too many rules.
Crackers. Call them crackers, douchebag, whatever you want.
Call them
white trash. It doesn't matter.
Day babies.
Day babies. Yep, I don't care. Nobody cares. Eyes wide open tweets, Dear Drew Brees, at least Tom Brady's deflated balls involved a football. Coward.
Hey-oh!
Yeah. And here's how bad it is. Not just Drew apologizing multiple times, but Drew Brees' wife has issued a public apology now. We are the problem, Brittany began. I write this with tears in my eyes, and I hope you all hear our hearts. Hear your heart?
In other words, please.
It's like beating that loudly that I could hear it from here?
Call off the mob, please.
Yeah.
Don't hurt us.
Yes, that's right. I mean, people who have obviously never experienced any sort of negative feedback. Not at Purdue, not in San Diego, not in New Orleans. The guy's gotten apparently nothing but love his entire career. And now a few people have tweeted crappy things at him, and his whole family, his relatives, his ancestors, his descendants, they're all apologizing now.
And what horrific crime did Drew Brees commit? He praised the American flag and his grandfather's fighting to defend the country.
That's his horrible crime, bastard.
2020.
Come on.
She gives and she gives.
Come on. Oh, I can't. You can't. You know?
You know what? Just press play on all these videos.
Yeah.
That would take us to the end of the show. We wouldn't have to say anything,
It'd be pretty close.
We just
That's true. We've
play.
got so many. Be pretty close, so we should probably play some of them.
Of course, they're maddening.
But so is this. Minneapolis City Council has confirmed they intend to dismantle the police department. They intend to dismantle the city's police department.
Okay. All right.
U-Haul is going to have some serious action in the next little while. If you dismantle the police department, that's what kind of madness? Because of one guy in the Minneapolis Police Department? It's happened. Okay, 9 black men were shot who were unarmed last year. Not in Minneapolis, nationwide, happened in various cities. And yes, horrible things do happen. They happen to white people too, twice as often. Should it be more than that, percentage-wise? Yes, it probably should. But it just shows they're not just targeting blacks. I mean, sometimes they just make terrible, awful mistakes. Sometimes they might be a bad cop. But usually, the cops in the vast majority of instances are just trying to be great public servants. And you're going to dismantle this police department over this? Okay, well, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Glad I don't live in Minneapolis.
No kidding. Earlier in that day, though, the Minneapolis mayor was given the opportunity to get on the side of the mob as well. On that whole defund the police thing.
Right.
You'll see how that played out?
Yeah.
Watch this fun.
Have to take responsibility here. I've been coming to grips with my own brokenness in this situation, my own failures, my own shortcomings, and I know there needs to be deep-seated structural reform in terms of how the department operates. The systemically racist system needs to be revamped. The police union.
You don't know anything about the system. What are you talking about?
We need to make sure that everything from the union contract to the way that the arbitration functions to the way that our officers and the culture in the department behaves, it all change.
Jacob Fry, we have a yes or no question for you. Hey! Jacob Fry, we have a yes or no question for you. Yes or no, will you commit to defunding Minneapolis Police Department?
Yes or no, Mayor? Defund the
What did I
police.
say? We don't want no more police. Is that clear?
No more
we don't want
police.
people with guns.
They don't want any more
toting around
police.
our
No, they don't want no more.
shooting us down. You have an answer. It is a yes or a no.
Yes or no, Mayor?
Unreal, man.
Will you defund
Here we
the
go.
Minneapolis Police Department?
Yes or no?
Come on.
Yes or no, pretty
All
boy?
right, be quiet,
What is it?
Be quiet, because it's important that we actually
I
hear
love.
this.
Pause it for a
It's
second.
important that-
I love how he's dressed so casually. He's got a T-shirt and jeans on. He's
Yeah.
just one of the people, man. I'm just, hey, look.
He's
dude,
got the mask on.
I'm here to talk about my own brokenness, okay? I'm broken, and I'm trying to fix myself.
Systematic racism.
And I just want to take care of this systematic racism. He doesn't know anything about systemic racism.
I do appreciate the camera angle that's way above him.
Yeah.
That's very
He
appropriate.
looks like a teeny little guy, like a teenager. So, I'm brokenness, my own brokenness.
All right, so, Mr. Mayor.
So,
Yes or no?
yes or no?
Because we don't want no mo police.
If you don't want no mo,
I
does that
know,
mean you
right?
do want some mo police? Huh. I don't know. We'll have to
Give the people
investigate
what they
that
want.
too. All right, here it is.
We hear this because if y'all don't know, he's up for re-election next year.
Oh, no, you did!
He's up for re-election
Oh, no, you
next year.
did!
Okay.
And if he says no, guess what the we gonna do next
Well, what are you
year?
going to do?
What are you going to
Riot? Are you going to riot?
What'd you say?
I mean, as stupid. Pause it for a second again.
It's like a movie, man.
As stupid as he is, and he is stupid,
Oh, yeah.
he's a moron. He knows you can't dismantle the police department. What are you going to do then for protection? Who's going to show up when you need help?
The city,
No one.
City Council of Minneapolis did
Oh, they've
not
got a new
get
way.
that memo.
No, they
But no,
didn't.
there's more to this. Hold on. You got to see the
All right,
rest of
yeah,
this.
I wanna
Watch
see the
this.
rest of
Watch
it.
this.
All right, get the out of here.
Yeah, he said, I cannot commit to defunding the police. Now it's time to get the blank out. And here comes the walk of shame for the mayor of Minneapolis.
Go home, Jacob, go home. Go home, Jacob, go home. Go home, Jacob.
Go home, Jason. Go home. Is that what they're saying?
Jacob, go home. Jacob, go home.
Okay, Jacob. That's right. Oh man.
This is America. What?
And
Get
you
it
have to, and you have to comply. You have to commit to every single one of their wishes. This defund the police thing is the most ridiculous thing I think I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Certainly one of them. It's got to be top 10.
I don't remember that being a demand last week.
No, it's a fairly new one. It's like, okay, yeah, there's systemic racism. You know what we should do is disband them. Just get rid of all police officers.
Yeah. And
Okay, yeah, that'll really free you up to do whatever you want, won't it?
And it always works out well when you give in to terrorists' demands. Is that then they're cool. Then they
Have you
then they just
called
stop.
these
They don't
people
ask for anything else. Yeah, that's exactly what I. And we can't wait to later. We're going to get to some more Black Lives Matter demands. That'll be fun.
That's the thing. People don't know what Black Lives Matter stands for. They don't know. I mean, you remember when they first put up their website and they had their goals and their demands, and they were Marxist goals and demands. They were America hating goals and demands.
Yeah.
It was ugliness. I think they took some of that down. But wait till you hear some of the things that are circulating now from Black Lives Matter and other, radical groups.
And don't forget, just last week you had the leader of Black Lives Matter in New York declare war on the police. Remember that? That was fun. So
it was fun, wasn't it? Yeah. Probably not to the police department. All right. Here's something you may not have known, and hopefully until recently, because we've been talking about it quite a bit lately. That dry kibble dog food stuff, there's nothing alive in it. It's all burned out of there. They have to sterilize the food so it lasts a really long time on the shelf. And that kills everything that's good for your dog in their food. That's why Rough Greens is so great. Rough Greens VitaSmart. It's not dog food. It's a powder. It's a supplement that you sprinkle on your dog's food. Mix it in there. First of all, dogs love it. It seriously is. It's like Glenn has been saying, it's like doggy crack to them. They love it that much. Plus, there's massive amounts of vitamins and minerals digestive enzymes, probiotics, omega oils, just things that are good for your dog and will give them a healthy skin and coat and improve their digestion and help them be friskier like they were when they were a puppy. Take the Rough Greens 14-day Jumpstart Challenge today and see for yourself. It's just $14.95. You'll see the difference in your dog in 14 days or less. If you want to see your dog thrive again, go to roughgreens.com/blaze. That's RUFF greens.com/blaze.
Pat Gray Unleashed.
Oh, and I was talking about how the NFL caved in about 20 minutes ago. That was just to let you know that they're not the only ones. Get ready. Mm-hmm. Hold on to something. Mm-mm. NASCAR will listen. They want to listen and learn. We just want to listen and learn.
We need to have a conversation, remember?
We need to have a conversation. We've never had that conversation. Mm-hmm. When are we going to have a conversation about race in this country? When will it ever happen that we will talk about race in this country? I mean,
seriously, what would be cool is if America could somehow, someday, get race issues behind them and, I don't know, maybe elect a black president. You know, if we could ever, I mean, that's a dream. I realize that maybe it's a pipe dream, but maybe one day we could do that as a nation. No?
No, well,
you don't think
not since 12 years ago. We haven't done that.
Okay.
Not since 12 years ago, Keith. So, I mean, if we're not electing every president who's black, then we're not there yet. Okay, every president from now on must be black, I think. I don't know, something like that. But NASCAR is going to listen, and here they are telling us. Oh, wow.
Look, they're setting up there.
We're no strangers to moving fast.
Right.
And we know how life can have that same quality.
But now
is the time to slow down.
Stop with that!
The events
Pause
of
it for a
recent
second.
weeks.
Can we stop with the Antifa, the left wing, but now thing where all the multiple people? How many times do we have to see that technique done by these leftist morons? Why does everybody have to use that? But now. All right.
The events of recent weeks
highlighted the work we still need to do as a nation to condemn racial inequality and racism.
The deaths of George Floyd,
Breonna Taylor,
Ahmaud Arbery, and countless others in the black community are heartbreaking.
Are heartbreaking and can no longer be ignored.
The process begins with us listening and learning, because understanding the problem
is the first step in fixing it.
We are committed.
Right, because this is the first time we're hearing of it,
empathy,
right?
And with an
Boys,
open heart to better educate ourselves.
We will use this education to advocate
for change in our nation, our communities,
and most importantly, in our own homes.
even after the headlines go away.
All of our voices, they make a difference.
No matter how big or how small.
And it is all of our responsibility
to no longer be silent.
To no longer be silent.
We just can't stay silent.
We have a long road ahead of us.
Somebody else
Let's commit to make that journey together.
Together.
Our
differences should not divide us.
It is our love for all mankind
together
that will unite us
as we work together
to make real change.
To make real change. As we work
together
to make real change. To make real change. As we make real change together, as we together say things together, and together we say things together
during this challenging time.
That is mind-numbing. Oh, man.
You know, I've been really mad at Major League Baseball. Come to think of it, maybe don't play.
Yeah.
Maybe don't take the field, because we're going to get public service announcements like that.
Yeah, we'll get that.
I'm good.
And we haven't even gotten to the NBA yet. Just wait till they get their teeth into this. Oh, my gosh.
July 31st, the season begins anew.
All the kneeling you could possibly, and lecturing you could ever possibly want. NASCAR's acting like this is the first they've ever heard of a situation. As we're learning, we want to learn. As we're learning, I'm learning. We're learning together. We learn together, learning together. Shut up! Oh, I can't take it. I just, that's madness. It's just ridiculous and asinine. It doesn't even seem sincere when you do it like that. If you could say, look, we all agree. No, I don't know a single person, again, for the millionth time, who disagrees that what happened to George was an absolute abomination. It should not have happened. It was incredibly ugly and horrifying to everybody who has any sort of sensibility or humanity in them. But that doesn't mean that the every stinking police department in this country is racist. It doesn't mean that all blacks are treated like that. I'm sure that there's some nervousness, and blacks talk about it all the time, that they're nervous about police. I think some white people are nervous about police too. I don't like getting pulled over either. I've gotten plenty of tickets, and not a lot of sympathy from cops I've been pulled over.
You've been conditioned, though, right?
Yeah, have I?
So, yeah, because you've been pulled over so many times.
Yes,
right?
That's true. Yes.
Doesn't scare you quite as much as it does the rest of us now, because you're just like, here we go.
But can we just put this into perspective a little bit?
No, there is no.
No, there's no perspective here.
No place
whatsoever.
for perspective
whatsoever
in this society anymore. No.
Nope. We've got to go full frontal panic here. Full frontal madness. Wow. 888-900-3393. Your thoughts. And lots more coming up. You will not believe some of the videos we have for you. Don't miss it. 888-900-3393. Also at Pat Unleashed on Twitter. Got some tweets here from Caffeinated Texan. Hey, looting is a matter of civic duty and an expression of righteous outrage. People in Rolls Royces care about their community enough to burn it down. They care enough too. Well, good. Okay.
Is that
I
like
hadn't thought of it that way.
Burning down a forest so it grows better? Is that the whole line of thinking?
Somewhat
here?
similar, yeah.
Okay.
Chase Dunlap. Any NFL player that refuses to kneel during the national anthem would be pounded into goo like Drew Brees. Just a prediction, and probably a true one.
Mm-hmm.
Keystone Pig. As a public employee, I put into action daily, leaving my personal and political opinions out of my job. Celebs and athletes should really consider doing the same. Guy Herm, these idiots calling for no police are the ones who will dial 911 when they don't get their French fries at the drive-thru. Yes, sir. That is true. Oh, it's just so agonizing. And again, this all started with something we all agreed on. Nobody thought that that George Floyd was treated the way he should have been by cops. In fact, we all believe it was murder. I believe it was murder. And here's the thing. That's what he was charged with. Here's another thing. So were the other three cops charged in the same incident.
Yeah, but see, we had common ground, and you can't let Americans have common ground for more than 5 minutes at a time now.
No. So then it had to go to, okay, well, we all agree. Okay, well, they did get justice for George. Okay, yeah, we did get that. But now what we want is for the police to be defunded. And then that wasn't even far enough because that's outrageous. So then we want even more. We want the police to be dismantled. Yeah. We don't want there to be any police in our town now.
And you skipped right over the looting is okay because...
And looting's okay. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Good stuff.
Right. As they're looting, these guys were being charged. Justice was being served. And nobody said, hey, no, we're going to no-bill these guys. Nobody ever said that. Nobody. And so we were all on the same page. It wasn't like with Michael Brown, who, by the way, we disagreed on that because he didn't say anything like, hands up, don't shoot, my hands are up. He was chasing after the cop, trying to hurt him further.
Yeah, he was charging him. Remember that?
Yes.
He had the injury to his eye and everything.
Right. Mm-hmm. He had beaten the cop, and he was headed that way again.
And that was from black witnesses. That's not from Whitey McWhiteface sitting in a corner Monday morning quarterbacking.
Who's the other one we hear about so much? Trayvon Martin. Well, Trayvon Martin wasn't even killed by a cop. Or a white person.
Thank you.
Trayvon Martin was killed by a Hispanic guy. The two of them were fighting, and one of them was losing, and he shot Trayvon Martin. What was the guy's name?
George Zimmerman?
Zimmerman. Mm-hmm. Yep. Now, Eric Garner, I agreed with you on that. The guy was choked to death in New York City for nothing. That was
selling cigarettes.
Horrifying. Horrifying. We were on the same page there. The guy, and George Floyd, of course, that we've already mentioned. The guy in South Carolina shot in the back running from the police officer. No reason for that. Is it any less horrific, though? Can you even ask? Is it less horrific when this happens to white men? Because nobody says a thing about Tony Timpa, who was killed in almost exactly the same way George Floyd was. Daniel Shaver shot like a dog crawling toward the cop just because he was trying to pull his pants up. I mean, that is 8 minutes of absolute horror if you ever want to see what happened to Daniel Shaver. And not only did that cop get off scot-free, found innocent in a trial, not only that, they gave him his job back so he could apply for retirement benefits, which he got. Oh. The guy makes $30,000 a year now after having killed Daniel Shaver in cold blood. Oh, no. So awful. I mean, so I guess those aren't horrific, though, because they happen to white people. I don't know. It's a weird situation to me, and it's just completely out of control. Completely. We've got some fun videos of protesters heading to a D.C. rally.
Oh, my goodness. Wait till you see the fun they had on the way.
Practicing their chants.
All right. Philly crew here.
What's up, Philly crew?
We're getting close. We're going to join Refuse Fascism in demanding
Look at that driver guy.
No murder by police, no fascist police state, no fascist military war on the people. Trump Pence out now. We're going to organize thousands to escalate this struggle for justice, to remove
There's no ancient
the
struggle.
Trump Pence regime through the power of the people.
Okay, here we go.
So we're going to share some chants with you that we're practicing.
All right.
Here we go.
Yes.
Silence is complicity with white supremacy. Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Not yours, that's for sure.
Hands out now. Silence is complicity with white supremacy. Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
The other one. The other side.
Hands out now. Get in the streets and stay.
Forgot.
Time for a different one now.
Come back every day. We got to say.
They got bleeps to say.
Trump Pence out now. Get in the streets and stay. We got to say. Come back every day.
You're so good at this.
Okay, I can't take it anymore.
You can't?
Please stop. Please stop.
You already have it memorized then?
Morons. Oh my God.
So
that is painful. Can you imagine being friends with those people? No, I can't do it. I could not do it.
Can imagine looking at them.
Oh, wow.
Have kids.
Silence is complicity with white supremacy.
Which side are you on?
Trump Pence out now.
Boy, that guy driving,
That's really good.
that guy in the
It's
driver's
good.
seat.
Yeah, he was on
is.
fire. He's a firecracker.
He is.
You can tell it was like a brain trust driving to DC. It's like a think tank all together there, just really solving some of the world's major problems while they drive toward the protest. That's great. Speaking of insane, we got more from
Lori Lightfoot?
Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot.
How did I know you were going to segue into insane to her?
And that we shouldn't be using guns to defend ourselves.
Oh, yeah.
Asking if you could react to folks taking matters into their own hands last night to protect their community.
Pause for a second. Okay, why would you take a matter into your own hands when the police are just dealing with these riots so well? Why would you do that? When they've been told by people like Lori Lightfoot not to do anything.
Yeah, the question was, what's your message to people taking matters in their own, defending their communities?
Unreal. All right.
You actually brought that up, and let me say this.
Okay, say
Go ahead, say it.
Obviously, we're aware of the fact that Illinois is a concealed carry state, and that many people have weapons at their disposal in their homes and their businesses.
Okay.
Do not take matters into your own hand. Call the police.
Yeah, and what are they going to do?
Oh, listen.
In this country, and recently. when people felt like they could take matters into their own hand. Let me remind you of the killing of Mr. Arbery. Do not pick up arms and try to be the police. If there's a problem, call 911. We will respond.
You
but
will?
I urge
You'll
people
stop
to
the looting?
show restraint and do not
Can you believe this?
take matters into your own hands.
They have already shown us that we have to take matters into our own hands when we're being attacked like
Plus,
that.
aren't we supposed to be defunding the police now? Isn't that what we're supposed to be doing?
Our business is at stake here, and I'm just supposed to let them come on in.
Yeah, but did you catch that? The analogy she made, that if you are defending your home or your business or your property, you are on the same par as those guys in Georgia that chased down and killed Ahmaud Arbery.
Yeah.
That's her analogy. That's what happens when you let citizens have guns. Oh my goodness.
She is really hideous. She is really despicable.
But I mean, her hair though. I mean, it's lovely because she's been getting that done during the
But she cares
pandemic.
about her hygiene. You don't.
Exactly.
You don't care about yours. You like to wallow in your own filth.
That's true.
She cares about her hygiene.
Yeah, it's been.
I appreciate that about her.
Yeah.
I don't agree with anything she says, but
the hygiene
she's
thing, right?
really hygienic.
And I got to be honest with you. I did a lot of yard work this weekend. It was not fun. I hate doing yard work, and I forgot. It just occurred to me. I forgot to shower all weekend. So she's right about that.
Yeah, you don't care.
I don't care about my hygiene.
You're wallowing in your own filth right now.
Yes, I am. Sorry about that. You had to work with me.
Yeah. Well, believe me, so am I.
My bad.
Wow. I mean, how do you deal with that? If that's your mayor, I move. I think I move to another city. I can't.
I've never ended up within the city limits to begin with, if that's my mayor.
Let's take a look at a couple of really peaceful protests.
Oh, okay.
There was one in Austin.
Oh, at the State House here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Black Lives Matter, and just a peaceful
deal.
Get together. Yeah.
And we've got a black police officer there who's trying to walk through the crowd. He's just walking through the crowd. I had them eliminate the audio from this video since
screaming at him.
It would just be one continuous bleep. They surround this black police officer, try to take his bag from him, assault him.
By the way,
look at this.
It's a black police officer.
A black police officer.
Black Lives Matter, but apparently not.
Assaulted.
If they're police.
Yeah, exactly.
God, jeez.
It's madness, man.
Scumbags.
They are complete scumbags. He gets away, and that's good.
Fortunately, he was a big dude and could probably take care of himself.
Once the drunk camera operator gets set, you see the guy is there away from the protesters now. But of course, they continue shouting at him. I mean, all white people, by the way, I'd like to point out that keep preaching tolerance to those of us that aren't at these rallies.
Well, white people are mad on behalf of black people. That's the good thing.
At black people?
No. Yeah, well,
in that case,
police black people, yeah. But other black people they love and
I'm so
support
confused right now.
and want only the best for. Man. I don't know if we can even show this. I got to look at this off the air before we show that on the air. There's just a graphic video of a police officer being set on fire in Italy.
Yep.
But don't worry about that.
But Black Lives Matter, like you said, they're all about the peace and the advancing black issues. Nothing beyond that, right?
How crazy is this thing that it's spread worldwide? Like anybody in Greece or Italy care what happened to George Floyd? Come on, let's be honest. They don't know him. They don't care about him. They don't understand what happened there. This is an opportunity for the commies and the socialists to rise up in their insurrection that they've been planning for all these years.
Never let a crisis go to waste.
And they're not. They're not letting it go to waste. They are going after it. They see this as their opportunity. They're trying to seize it. We're in the middle of a pandemic right now. The economy sucks. We've been beaten to a pulp with the pandemic. And now this is the perfect time to jam your agenda down our throat. That's what they think anyway. And they might be right. I don't know. I hope we stand up and stop this crap because it's unbelievable and it's unacceptable. They vandalized a Lincoln statue. This isn't the Lincoln statue, right? It's not the Lincoln Memorial.
Well, they did that last weekend. That was last week's fun.
And that's why police lined up in front of it. They're like, what are you lining up in front of?
But that's what they did to this particular one. I don't know where this is.
BLM, Black Lives Matter.
I mean, they spray painted it and all that stuff. You know, the guy who freed slaves.
Yeah.
The white guy. The white Republican guy.
What's he done for us lately, though? That's what I'd like to know.
It's a fair point.
What's he done for us lately? This Abraham Lincoln. What has he done? He's done nothing. Yeah. I mean, and at first, it wasn't even about slavery at first. You know? So... it wasn't about that. You know what it was about? It was about him trying to grab power. That's what it was.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was about. He wanted to end the U.S. Constitution. That's what he wanted.
So why did they also deface the memorial to Shaw's division, the black soldiers from the Civil War? What's that all about? Can you explain yourself out of that one?
Morons? They're morons, maybe?
I mean, seriously, if anybody has read about these guys or just watch the movie Glory, you know, with Matthew Broderick,
get an explanation as to who these people were.
These guys were heroes. They were Union soldiers, black Union soldiers.
Yeah.
That risked everything, including being thrown back into slavery.
Doesn't that just show you they have no idea who those people are? Or what
No,
they
because
meant?
it's not about Black Lives Mattering.
No.
It's about destroying this country.
Right. Protesters pulled down a Confederate statue, too, in Richmond after a day and evening of peaceful protests and marches.
I love the obligatory peaceful reference in a story.
Every single time. After a day and evening of peaceful protests and marches in Richmond and its suburbs, protesters using ropes pulled down a statue honoring Confederate General William Carter Wickham, which has stood in the park since 1891. Well, it was time then. You know, it's been 130 years almost. Most of the protesters who had marched through the city had already dispersed when the statue was taken down. After it fell, one person urinated on the statue and then ran away. That's beautiful. That's really nice. Good. Okay. Well, if they don't like it, you know, obviously you're going to pull it down. Am I right? Mm-hmm. You can do whatever you want if you're in a mob.
Yeah. What did Herschel Walker say last week? And I hope he's really doing this because, I mean, a celebrity getting this started, that might actually get legs. He wanted to go ahead and start buying plane tickets for people that hate this country so much and are ready to leave.
Yeah, I love that.
I really hope that comes to fruition. Get out.
I've always heard Herschel Walker is to the right. Mm-hmm. He's even more conservative than I thought.
Me too.
After that conversation with Glenn.
Interview. Yes.
Really awesome.
Go back and listen to that.
Great guy. All right, 888-900-3393. More Pat Gray Unleashed coming up. We have way too much to get into this today, but really want to talk about the fact that George W. Bush and Mitt Romney have both said they're not going to vote for Trump in November. Hello? Considering the alternative, you know, Allie just asked the question on that promo we just played of her. Is there anything that Donald Trump could say or do that would cause you to not vote for him? And I think the answer for me is no. Because the alternative is just too horrifying.
Yeah, when the polling shakes out in the next couple of weeks, after these last couple of weeks is taken into account, really like to see if it's been a net positive or a net negative numbers-wise for Trump.
Yeah. But I think anybody from the Democrat Party being elected, how many times do I have to say it? It can't happen. We can't allow it to happen. It'd be the end of us. So that's kind of where I am. But we'll get into that another time, maybe tomorrow, because there's just way too much. I got some tweets here, too, from COVID Bullet 23. So are those NASCAR drivers going to move out of their gated communities and into the inner city to learn together? Kelly, 3132, NASCAR now? My late mom, dad, brother are rolling in their graves. Noting that I come from a racing family, 2 brothers, dad, cousin who died at age 32, racing. Wow. I just canceled NASCAR, the one sport I have followed for 40 plus years.
My goodness.
From the Sniper BBB, we're really close to getting an all-time Pat scream today. yes, we are.
you noticed that too. It's been some moments.
David M. Zuber, I smell a new square on the bingo board. Learning together, learning together.
Aha.
Together.
Just too muck and fudge. Write that down.
Like that. Rants out loud How long until Michelle Obama jumps in the race amid this Black Lives Matter gaslighting? That's a frightening possibility. Really, really scary. You know, but the thing is, these Black Lives Matter protests are going on, and all they want is the best.
That's all.
For black people, for minorities, and who can blame them?
Equality, right?
You know, they just want equality. Well, and a few other things. Okay, at a recent Black Lives Matter get-together, there was a pamphlet at the event. And there's some interesting demands of state and local officials.
Oh, boy.
From these people. Skip 1, 2. Okay, we're gonna move jails and prisons for one thing, and police. We're gonna move those. And social services, we're gonna move them out of where they are now.
Okay.
Number 2, they're gonna close certain youth development centers. Number 3, I like this. Refuse to enforce federal immigration laws. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. You'd much rather have illegal aliens taking those jobs than anybody in the area, right? Number 4, refuse any cooperation with federal immigration authorities.
Wait, I thought we were talking about black lives.
Yeah.
What is... now we're doing immigration? We've talked about moving jail and prison funds to schools.
Yeah, so?
And now we're moving on to immigration is...
Not only that, what about reparations for the failed war on drugs and criminalization of prostitution? We got to do that. That's number 7. Number 10 is interesting. Divest from industrial use of fossil fuels, including removing oil storage tanks. I'm not sure what that has to do with Black Lives Matter.
From let's educate our black kids in the inner city to let's clean up oil tanks and no more fossil fuels.
There's a few more demands that showed up.
I did a little research this week. I thought, let me go to the Black Lives Matter website and see what we can find there. And they're talking about
this is great,
cisgender stuff, and
they're big into that for some reason.
Right, disrupting
trans stuff.
Yep, disrupting the Western prescribed nuclear family structure. I thought a black family would benefit from the nuclear family structure, but I guess not. And of course, you have to get the token "Engage Our Comrades" reference.
Yes, comrade.
Yeah, look at Engage Our Comrades. So that's Black Lives Matter for you direct from their website.
And then we got this pamphlet at one of their rallies, and of course this is all true. They're talking about how Republicans created slavery 400 years ago. Remember that? Against the rule of law.
They weren't even a party until the 1850s, and then they eliminated slavery.
A, there wasn't an America 400 years ago.
Yes.
B, of course there were not Republicans 400 years ago. And C, Democrats were the ones who really were responsible for slavery in this country, responsible for keeping it going in this country, who fought like hell. In fact, created a civil war over slavery in this country.
I got it. Can you please turn off the fax machine there?
Right. Yeah, we just want to live in our world of lies.
Oh my gosh.
All white racists must be aborted if we're going to survive. Don't forget that part.
Wait,
Also fascist Republicans, and they do nothing while our real President Hillary is forced into exile. Is this what democracy looks like? No way. Oh, that is unbelievable.
Who sent me this thing? This is so good.
Fascist Republicans must not be allowed to live.
Okay.
Which I guess means kill them. Help us stop them. Burn their house. Get in their face. Well, yeah. If you burn down their house, you got a really good chance you're going to be in their face. Tell them they aren't welcome anywhere. Use their yard as a trash dump. Okay. All right. We've got some more demands from them. This is awesome stuff. And I think we should enact all of it. Let's just do it all.
Do it all?
Why not?
Yeah, because they want a new constitution. I can't wait to read about those.
We should do one on Twitter. We should do a constitution through Twitter like Iceland did. Look how well it's worked out for them. They're great.
Well, in Iceland, they do things really well. In Iceland, they're...
Pat Gray.
Wow. We were reading this pamphlet that was found at one of the rallies over the weekend. This looks like a Colorado rally. The people's new constitution guarantees spelled incorrectly, and they spell guarantee incorrectly every single time. But it guarantees everybody paradise and equality for all. Oh,
that's fun.
Yeah, that's great. Here's what they demand in the new constitution. Free health care for life. Yes. Free education for life. Yes.
Yes.
This is what it says on the pamphlet. Guaranteed, free food and solar energy for life.
Yes.
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 Guaranteed basic income for life. Yes.
Yes.
Guaranteed job of your choice for life.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so let's say I want to be the head of ExxonMobil, and so does somebody else. Which one of us gets that
I'm
gig?
fighting Jeffy for NFL commissioner.
Okay. Guaranteed housing for life. Yes.
Yes.
No border. Yes.
Yes.
No border, no wall, no USA at all. Yes.
Oh, that rhymes. No border, no wall, no USA at all.
Mm-hmm.
And they ruin it with that. Yes.
So those are some of their demands. But they just want equality. That's all they want. Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't. Democrats. And then, of course, Republicans are, what is it? We instituted slavery. We created slavery 400 years ago. Huh. Democrats supported slavery its entire existence. Democrats started a civil war over slavery. Democrats created Jim Crow laws. Democrats fought for segregation. Democrats fought against civil rights for blacks. A Democrat, Woodrow Wilson, resegregated the U.S. military, which had been integrated, and then he resegregated it. Democrats founded the KKK. It was the militant arm of the Democrat Party. The Ku Klux Klan is a Democrat operation. A Democrat founded Planned Parenthood to eliminate blacks. Margaret Sanger. Read up on her if you don't believe that. That was her goal. Democrats fought against the Civil Rights Bill, tooth and nail. So the one thing a Democrat finally did, because a Democrat was pushed up against the wall, Lyndon Johnson in 1964 finally signed the Civil Rights Bill, which was created by Republicans. And because of the sentiment in the country, he was forced into finally giving in. LBJ was a racist. Let's just face it. And he fought against the civil rights movement his entire time in Congress in the 50s. And so did Al Gore's dad, for that matter. So don't tell me Republicans ever supported slavery. They did not. They did not. The Republican Party was created as an abolitionist party. I mean,
there you go with your fax machine again.
I know.
Stop, man. You gotta go with feelings.
So irritating, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now these Democrats are encouraging all kinds of blacks and minorities to get out in the streets. Get out there and protest. This is great what you're doing. Go ahead and loot. Yes, loot, riot, protest, do it. Get together by the thousands. Wait a minute. What about COVID-19? You don't care about them? I thought Black Lives Mattered. This is not... can you believe this pile of bull crap? What if we were to say, the disease of progressivism and liberalism, because that's what we were told. Let's see if I still have that story here somewhere. We got so many stacks of stories and stuff that's going on. I've got this somewhere because they were told, they have been saying that the disease of racism is far worse than the disease of this virus. And so...
Oh, you're talking about the scientists? That said, go
health
ahead.
Experts.
Yeah, go ahead and get out on the streets and write and all that other good stuff.
Too important not to.
Yeah, because standing against racism.
That's the real disease that's been inflicting this country. If we were to say the disease of progressivism and liberalism is worse, far worse than COVID-19. So get out there and protest it. What would they be saying about Republicans right now? That we're racist and we're trying to kill black people. That's what they would say. Even if we told them, never in the history of the world has anything, no disease, no practice, never has anything killed more black people than progressivism has. It is encouraged, in fact, insisted on prevalent abortion, which, just in the United States, and just since 1973, has murdered 16 million black babies. 16 million. That's more blacks than were involved in the entire 400-year slave trade. A progressive policy, abortion. Democrats. Progressivism has kept blacks in poverty in every major city in America. It's relegated them to being reliant on the government in every city in America. It has sapped pride and accomplishment from them. Progressivism has destroyed the black family, where once, in about the 1950s, blacks had the strongest family units in America. Like 80 to 85% were two-parent families intact. Since progressive policies have been in place in the last 60 years, that aspect for blacks has gone in the opposite direction. Now, there's about 70 to 75% of black families who are single-parent families. So, yes, black people get out in the streets right now, despite the virus, and protest, because these other diseases have killed far more people than the virus. So if we were saying that, we'd be labeled the biggest racists on earth. We'd be trying to commit genocide. How can they get away with this? It is time for minorities to wake up and realize that the Democrats have never done anything ever for minorities. In fact, quite the opposite. The exact opposite. You've got to see this too. This is amazing video. It's very disturbing. So just keep that in mind if you've got kids with you. But there's a police officer.
Oh, yeah. Please keep your kids away from the screen for 15 seconds here.
In Italy, who is on his motorcycle bike. Watch what happens to him.
Very graphic, y'all. Very graphic.
He's set on fire. Poured lighter fuel fluid on him and lit him on fire.
Horrible.
Blacks don't seem to do. I mean, the police don't seem to do anything to the person who did it. He must have gotten away with it. I guess you can just set a policeman on fire if you're protesting, because you got to be out there protesting right now. It's important for them to be out there on the streets in Italy for George Floyd, who, by the way, did get justice. His killers have been charged and will face punishment. I don't.
We got to go to trial and see what happens there.
Yes, of course, there's due process, thank goodness. Also, an incredibly powerful moment. Police Chief Michael Shaw urged by chanting.
Yeah, powerful moment. That's
powerful. This is really powerful.
So he's laying down, face down, with his hands behind his back, I think for 8 minutes and 26 seconds, if I'm not mistaken.
Of course.
But,
of course, yeah, because that's all I know.
Hands behind his
George
back,
Floyd.
the police chief there.
The police chief. This is great.
Oh, no, that's not it. Okay, so just let this play, guys. We'll get back to the police chief. So we've got kneeling going on across the country. Everybody and their brother gets to kneel now. Yay, we're going to kneel. We're going to kneel. Look at us kneel. Look. White guilt, kneel. Oh, wait, bro.
Hey.
Take a knee, man.
Guy. Policeman.
Yo.
Hey.
And now his buddy's like, you know what? No, I'm not going to kneel either. So we got a couple of guys that are brave. And, of course, the mob gets right in their face. You better kneel. So we have no audio on that one. What's the other cop?
Is there audio, but it's all F words?
I don't know there. I don't think so. I think they were just yelling at him to kneel.
Now, do we have the police chief?
Well, hold on. Let's see.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief. Thank you, Chief. It's not enough. But it's a start.
There we go. Make a statement by laying face down. There we are. So we got a police chief doing that. But there were a couple of instances where people did not kneel around the country. Do we have the other cop who refused to kneel, even though they were getting right in his face and yelling? Yeah, take a knee, take a knee. Now, he was down there to pray with them. They said, hey, you want to pray with us? Yeah, absolutely, I'll pray with you, sure. And then, of course, the mob's not good with the prayers. No, we've got to make sure that you kneel before us here, and then it'll be cool. But other than that, no, we're not going to pray with you. But they shout him down, try to shame him into kneeling. But there's a few cops out there that refuse to do that this weekend. So
isn't the mob wonderful? Just forcing. That's not fascist, though. That's not fascist. These guys are anti-fascist. Forcing people to do their will.
Right.
That's not fascist.
So we've morphed in a week now from Justice for George to...
Yeah, because we already got that.
Yeah, we got the loot businesses.
Defund the police, and then that morphed into dismantle the police.
Yeah,
and now that's all morphed into also you must take a knee when we tell you to.
And now it's to the point where we're washing each other's feet now, which is a gross misrepresentation of Scripture. But we have police and citizens in North Carolina washing the feet of protesters now. I don't know if you want to play that video there. There we go. So we're now doing that across the country. So I'm not sure what's next as far as protests go and what's to be expected, but I'm afraid to ask. So.
And there they are kneeling, though. Cops.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're washing feet.
They're
washing the feet there.
That's great. Yeah,
that's good.
That's nice.
So,
also, world leaders have decided, some of them, to take a knee. Justin Trudeau up in Canada. Watch this report on the rallies taking place, the protests taking place across Canada.
After he rightfully
We went straight to Justin Trudeau taking a knee. There it is.
Look at him, man. He's a man of the people, that Justin Trudeau.
Taking a knee.
We should tell him about the 7-year-old girl.
With a mask on.
Of course. Well, you can't be out there without a mask.
No, right.
Now that we've pointed out they've been walking around and looting and rioting for a week and a half without masks.
Refusing to acknowledge the many reports and statistics.
It's just okay. I can't.
Can't take it.
I can't.
You want some boxed water?
I just can't. Oh, do you have a box?
No,
of
no.
water?
I just wondered if maybe because it's a Justin Trudeau staple.
I know it is.
So it's a mad, mad world, man.
Justin Trudeau taking a knee. So I guess that's meaningful now in every nation on earth. All of a sudden, take a knee is a thing where you must, and you must now, all over the world. They were talking in the protest, which I wanted to see the report of, the protests all over Canada. I mean, they had 10,000 people show up for a rally in Vancouver.
Wow.
10,000 in Vancouver, Canada, over what? If you're looking for justice for George, we have that. Okay? That process is in place right now. It's happening. The killer has been charged with second-degree murder. The other 3 have been charged as accomplices. Okay, so we got the justice for George. What is it you want now? Now you want what? We want to dismantle the police, I guess, and we also want a new constitution.
Oh yeah, that's right.
For the United States,
and yes,
from Canadians.
We also need to praise Antifa, who has made themselves a large part of this story now, and Mara Eliason from NPR was able to do that over the weekend with her tweet. D-Day anniversary, 76th anniversary was on Saturday, so she tweeted out.
Please no, don't say it.
The biggest Antifa rally in history took place at Normandy.
Not to say it, and you said it anyway.
There it is. So
okay, the American troops were not Antifa. They're not.
Weren't they anti-fascist, Pat?
They were
Look at
not.
them sweep across northern France. Look at them push the Nazis out of the way.
Yeah, not in the way you mean it. No, they were not. They would not support what you're doing now.
That is a hideous analogy.
How dare you? I mean,
how dare you?
Dare you start using American troops from World War II? Oh, that is despicable. Oh, it's agonizing. No,
good times. So
Okay, well, good.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's good.
That's a lot of good stuff right there. Could Justin Trudeau be any more butt stupid than he is? Is that one of the world's dumbest leaders? Maybe one of the dumbest in history.
I just sit here and
That guy
think,
is so stupid.
I'm trying to think of all of the fun things we do. I mean, him going back inside to get his coat. Remember that?
Yep.
That
Yep.
was the boxed water.
The boxed water. There's been so many
blackface.
things.
That's right.
All right.
I mean,
this is Prime Minister Blackface.
Prime Minister Blackface.
Come on.
But he
and
took
now
a knee.
he's taking a
He
knee.
took a
He
knee,
took a
so
knee. All's
that's cool.
forgiven.
We're cool.
All's forgiven. You can't even bring it up now. Don't you dare bring up that he showed up in blackface. That wasn't that long ago, too, if I remember correctly.
No. Speak moistly. That guy.
Moist. Yeah, right. Man.
This guy.
And now he's taking a knee with a bunch of Canadians over an American situation. Okay, well, whatever.
Yeah, well, whatever.
Do American officials? Well, I probably shouldn't. No, because we do get involved in other people's affairs.
Bad example.
That's a bad example. I mean, we don't take knees and we don't do symbolic stuff like that, but we do invade them and kind of enforce our will from time to time.
Boy.
So maybe that wasn't a good example. Never mind.
Maybe not.
Never mind.
Do you want a funny moment from world leaders over the weekend? I don't know who this guy is. I've tried to figure it out, but somebody tweeted me this video of this guy. He's got an Irish accent, sounds like, and he's he says a quote that sounds oddly familiar. If you want to press play on that one.
Words of hope.
Words of hope. Here we go.
In the end, it's only a passing thing, this shadow. Even darkness must pass. A new day will come, and when the sun shines, it'll shine out all the clearer.
Wow.
In the end, it's only a passing thing. The shadow. Even darkness must pass. A new day will come. And when the sun shines, it'll shine out the clearer.
Nice job.
And he didn't attribute it.
No.
Did he to anything?
I'm going to quote The Hobbit now. So good.
That's great.
That's funny stuff.
Oh, man. All right. 888-900-3393. Also, the question has arisen lately. Where is Anthony Fauci? He's disappeared completely. Except not. He has not disappeared. He just showed up. And
on a milk carton?
No.
Oh, because there he is missing.
No.
Look at that. Have you seen me?
That's funny.
Thanks, Hogasm.
Have you seen me? No, we really kind of haven't. But he has turned up enough to say,
okay.
When you talk about children going back to school and their safety, it really depends on the level of viral activity and the particular area that you're talking about.
So what he's saying is, in some areas, it might be okay to go back to school in the fall. Which, thank you.
It might have been a
Thanks,
good thing
Tony.
to never leave school, but...
What happens all too often, understandably, but sometimes misleadingly, is that we talk about the country as a whole in a unidimensional way.
Yeah, that's
this guy
too much unidimensional speech.
He has literally been on every side of every issue.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he really has. Well, I mean, and we've proven that many times because, first of all...
Do you think lives could have been saved if social distancing, physical distancing, stay-at-home measures had started third week of February instead of mid-March?
I mean, obviously, you could logically say that if you had a process that was ongoing and you started mitigation earlier, you could have saved lives.
yeah.
Obviously, no one is going to deny that. But you're right. I mean, obviously, if we had, right from the very beginning, shut everything down, it may have been a little bit different. But
well, here's what he said back earlier, even earlier than he was talking about.
We don't have to worry about this one, right?
Well, obviously you need to take it seriously and do the kinds of things that the CDC and the Department of Homeland Security are doing. But this is not a major threat for the people in the United States, and this is not something that the citizens of the United States right now should be worried about.
Then a month later...
No, right now, at this moment, there is no need to change anything that you're doing on a day-by-day basis.
Okay, I'm confused, Mr. Fauci. I'm confused, President Fauci. King Fauci, I'm a
I'm a little confused about your stance. Because like you said, it's everywhere. You said everything about everybody. So I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I guess really the virus doesn't matter anymore.
No, that's gone, man.
Because racism has to be dealt with, and we'll take our lives in our hands to deal with that, because we've never talked about it before. We're finally having the conversation that we've never had in this country about racism. Isn't it about time? Aren't you relieved? Finally?
Yeah.
We might have that conversation.
But again, we fought a war to end slavery, costing 750,000 American lives.
Yeah,
but we weren't talking.
Yeah,
we weren't talking about it.
No, we didn't talk about it.
Then of course we had the civil rights movement in the '60s.
Yeah, but
right?
we weren't.
No talking. There was no talking.
You know, we didn't say
we elected a black president.
Yeah, but we didn't talk
about it
before
at the
or
time.
after,
So we kind of need to go back,
right?
Revisit those milestones.
All right, just one more thing before we go, because this is amazing. You know, we had Prime Minister Blackface in Toronto. Or in Canada, take a knee. I'm not sure what city he was in. He might have been in the Vancouver protest. But a Toronto man this last weekend was arrested and charged after he turned up to an anti-racism protest in blackface. Okay, so the prime minister has been in blackface. That was fine. Nobody cares. He's still the prime minister. But this man who showed up wearing black paint on his face, where protesters had gathered to call for an end to racism and brutality, was arrested for blackface. What crime have you committed? Being mean? I'm sorry, for the crime of meanness. We're taking you downtown, and we're going to throw the book at you. I mean, you may never get out of prison. What? I don't know what they charged him with.
Wow, maybe inciting. I don't know.
Maybe
violence or something. Wow, but that's what a loser.
Sure, yeah, it's not cool. I mean, but
is it arrestable?
I mean,
I don't know. I mean,
would that happen in the United States if you showed up to a rally in blackface?
All bets are off now. I don't know, but
probably be beaten to death.
I just know in Canada you can't even have freedom of speech in your sermons anymore. So who knows what their laws are up there? Let's see. Oh, the man claimed he was not trying to be disruptive. Okay. Well, you're going to have to dig a little deeper for an excuse there, my friend. Let's see. He was arrested for breach of the peace.
Okay, breach of the peace. Huh. That's fascinating. Wow, Canada is going south fast. I mean, who isn't? But they might be going faster than just about anybody else.
I don't know. We've really picked up the pace in the last few weeks.
We're trying desperately to catch them. There's no doubt about that.
Oh.
And then speaking of all this madness, just another safety tip for you.
What's that?
If you're going to engage in, a sexual relation with your partner,
okay,
you need to wear a mask during sex. Safe sex is you got to wear a mask, apparently. That's what a study from Harvard says.
Oh,
if you're gonna have sex right now, you better wear a mask.
Well, no, but if you're wearing a mask, then you can go ahead and write off.
It kind of puts a damper on the whole festivity, doesn't it?
Oh no!
All right, we will see you tomorrow. Pat Gray Unleashed.
Pat Gray, only on the Blaze Radio Network.